Hey folks, this is Somber Gaming, and for most of you, this is probably the first time you're meeting me. I'd like to say thank you. I don't know truthfully where to begin because I made this channel about 4 to 5 years ago, and my initial intention was to explore my stream of consciousness, explore my ideas, my thoughts, and hopefully through that process I could possibly shed light on other people's frustrations or you know problems that they had in their own lives, and that's my intention now. This channel was an artifact of who I was back in the college days, and now I'm here to see if I've grown and hopefully I follow through with my dream. To explain the gameplay before we get into it, this is Valheim. I've played it plenty of times before, and I was very fixated on progression and how far I'd get. But now I'm trying to do a hardcore run where I just take it slow, enjoy the game for what it is, and take a mental break. And I didn't really look up if this was already done or if I was just an imitation of another person. Those thoughts always come into your head um, as you explore any creative endeavor. But I'm just happy to be here to make this video and explore my ideas. So I already made a character while I was kind of setting up. Probably noticed the background music wasn't totally in sync to when he started up, so a few failed attempts here and there, but hey, we're making it here now. So I'm gonna let the intro cutscene kind of roll, and I'll kind of get into what I'm doing here. So this is a hardcore run. I only have one life. If I die, I'll just reset. I'm not too worried about losing one account or another. I'll just make another one. I honestly just find it fun to see how far I can push my limits. And there's always these self-imposed rules that you apply to yourself that make a game or an experience so much more interesting. And that's the cool thing about being able to make your own rules and hopefully sticking to them. So through this video, it's also kind of a way for me to uphold that rule I placed for myself. And I will get going. I made a new world, haven't loaded into it at all. If you believe me, I'm cheating or whatever, hey, live your life, buddy, you know what I'm saying? But I got these ideas initially from a lot of what the RuneScape community does to make content fresh or to make old experiences new again. Simply through these self-imposed rules or just approaching something with a different perspective. I've noticed the gaming community has very much tilted in the hardcore direction where we're very fixated on arbitrary numbers and elo systems, rankings, whatever. I'm not worried about that. I'm kind of just here to have fun, to explore ideas and hopefully reach out to people. I suppose that intention is not totally valid when this is a monetary endeavor for me. I mean, the hope of any endeavor, and it does suck that it's interlinked, is that most of our creative focus and goals in life is just completely money oriented or power oriented. We don't do things just for the fun of it, for exploration. And that's honestly why I've also chose Valheim as the game. It's such a fascinating game, and I mean to dig more into the development of it because such a small team creating such a great experience is just like amazing to me. It's like one of the most purest games that's been released in you know um, modern, or what am I even trying to say? Or it's mostly been a it's the most recent game I can remember that's really true to form. That's really just like well developed. Obviously, it was an earlier release, and there's a whole thing there. But God, I just love this game. Honestly, it's just such a joy. Truthfully, it has Dark Souls elements, RuneScape elements, and I've already played through the game before. This is not going to be a blind playthrough or whatever. I'm not going to be like wowed by things, but oh, I'm just excited. I've tried hardcore in the past. I've died like probably a good 10 times. But I just want to share this experience with people. Did he say the 10th word? Alright, well, whatever. So, I'm not sure how I'm going to find balance between explaining gameplay elements and my main objective of just kind of exploring and just exploring ideas and exploring the world. I once you really put your effort into a speed run or a hardcore run, you really begin to optimize. Like I know exactly what to do, how I'm going to farm, but I think I'm just going to take it slow. I'm just going to gather around stuff and kind of see where things go. There's no plan, no expectation, no nothing. I think that's how you have to begin every journey. That you don't look towards the end. It's always this cliche of living in the present, enjoying what you have as you go through it. But for the most of the beginning game or the early game, I'm just going to be collecting. I'm going to be kind of a nomad until I find like such a beautiful spot to work on. And one of the best parts about this game, and I scared a deer, but whatever. Well, one of the best elements of this game is building, and I'm so fascinated by the building system because it's so intuitive and so like, ah, I'm just ready. I'm excited. I have too much fun with this game, honestly. Even the simple things of getting little level ups, being little boars with my club. But yeah, we're gonna basically roam, kind of wander around a little bit, and then see if we can find a good spot. And I'll kind of try to explain my thought process as I go through things, but you know, I'm gonna learn. I imagine this first video would be rough, but I just want to learn. I want to explore, you know. And then oh, did I get food? Oh no, I have to cook it. Yeah, that's what it is. But I'm not gonna be worried about tutorials or reading things. I imagine, and one thing I really wanted to do is really actually read a lot of the rune stones and actually dig into the lore a little bit, because there's definitely this was a product of love, truthfully. Like you might, and I don't understand why people get so caught up in the graphical elements of how modern something should be or how true to reality graphic should look. This aesthetic, even though maybe it's a little basic, I'm not sure the word you put to it, the aesthetic is beautiful. It's like every element of this game. I'm just gonna nerd out. Let me make a club real quick and just sneaked up to this little deer. So yeah, my first goal is honestly just to kind of rush Ekthir a little bit, get a pickaxe, and then kind of see where we go. Oh, okay. Never mind. I don't need that deer anyway. So we'll see where things go. I'm mostly looking for a black forest to just kind of settle in, see where even though it might be a little dangerous, and I probably have to make a little small base, but one thing will come after the other. Kind of running away from Ekthir a little bit, but oh, we're hyping. I'm ready. A lot of what I'm also going to be trying to talk about is kind of my experiences in real time of dealing with this environment of trying to be entertaining, and I'm actually just fascinated by this project, and I hope that becomes clear. But yeah, let me kind of focus on finding a little bit of a base to get started in. These are the rune stones I was talking about, and I've always wanted to spend the time to actually read through them, because the writing is actually like brilliant in this game, and it really clings to the theme of it all. And as kind of modern gamers, we tend to just skip the dialogue. We want to get right into the meat and potatoes, let's say, of the game. We're not too worried about the story around us or really anything. It's just about progress, gaining, getting these numbers up in my inventory, even though it may seem arbitrary. And even now, I was kind of like, I didn't actually read that runestone because I'm so like focused on progression, and that's where kind of we become very goal, and I think this is pretty well explored, that we've become very goal oriented in gaming as a whole. We're very fixated on being the best or pushing the limits of a game instead of just enjoying the experience as a narrative adventure, or you know, that's honestly why the co-op genre is all but dead, it seems like, because there's um, more of a push for kind of creating the next ladder to climb. Like every game seems to want to what am I even saying? Every game wants to, what's the word I'm trying to capture here? Imitate kind of the brilliance of like chess. Chess has some arbitrary rules that kind of that everybody agrees on. It's complete convention that like the knight can move in an L shape or whatever the case. And finally found my little first piece of shelter. There are these rules we kind of abide by that seem completely arbitrary, but everybody agrees to them, and we kind of are able to work together and abide by those rules. Let me see what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna get a little bit more wood. Never like making a stone axe because I'm just gonna throw it away in 2 seconds, but you know. But I guess that's my intention with this. Telling people to slow down. Like we live in such a information overload where it always feels like I'm never doing enough, or I'm never I'm like called to action, and it's hard for me to actually answer that call. We're always consumed by doubt or worry or failure or regret or all these negative emotions, and yet we just still move forward. But I think everyone needs a break sometime. Let me get a crafting bench down, and aptly named, we're gonna take a break ourselves. Oh, there's already a Grey Dwarf? Oh well. We're bopping, it doesn't even matter, dude. Hello, Mr. Dude. Okay. I'm a big fan of Huey. He's just chill. My man. So let me see what I want to the weapon meta in this game is actually very interesting. There's a purpose. There seems to be a purpose for every weapon. The spear, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I think I'll at least give myself an axe and a knife. Obviously, I'm gonna have to farm some deer for those who know this game pretty well, but I'll probably just do that through what's called through the knife. And I'll show you how that progresses. So I'm just gonna set up a little bit, get a little rested buff, take a breather, as we all should. Oh, nice! I'm out of wood. Yeah, woo. But I do want to, as I explore building, this is gonna be a really basic build right now. I definitely say I'm not the best at it, but I think it's gonna be fun. So let me grab a little bit of wood, get set up, and we'll take a little chill break. Also, woodcutting is one of honestly, the most enjoyable things in this game. They did it well. They got this down to a science. It just feels so weighty, and oh man, that should be enough for now though. But whenever I take these little shacks, I kind of repair it. It's a little temporary home for me, but I'll give it some respect. Let me just get everything oriented here. Again, I'm kind of very familiar with the system, the building system already. Let me actually grab go out as well. It's also this game is also just such a quality of life game where um, when you destroy something, it immediately gives you back everything that was used for it, and oh, it just also the using the hoe. Oh my god, it's honestly just such a blessing. Let me get oriented here. Set up. So I like restoring these little guys to their former glory, let's say. Don't really like to change on the build. This is actually a decent spot because this won't be our main base for now because there is a black forest right there. I don't know how big it is, but when we start transporting things from the black forest, we want to be somewhat close so the walk isn't too bad. Let me get rested buff. Let me reorient myself a little bit. And I'm out of wood again. Pretty sick. But yeah, it's really nice to just slow down. As for me, I actually just recently got my booster shot, and it's definitely tanked me a little bit. So I decided to re-up on this series just to give myself a break. Give myself a little day to, just calm down, slow down. With everything going on in the world, and I'm not gonna, you know, uh, claim to or tell you how bad these uncertain times are. We all know it. Life is life. I want to get my knives. Oh, all right, bro. All right, dude. All right, we're getting a little scary here, actually. What's up, bro? I have to play well smart, and I still didn't even get rested buff, so we're thriving. Oh. I'll take that trade. And even though the combat system seems very basic on the, I should have pushed through it. Oh, I missed anyway. There's so much complexity if you really kind of learn all the mechanics of the system. I don't know if this guy's gonna let me sneak. No way. Alright, what's up? Oh, what the? Okay, apparently he was still unaware of my presence. Okay, great. Alright, we're good. I'm gonna probably try to work on a lot of skills, and so that's also the really cool thing about hardcore. Am I dying to that? Okay. That's one of the really good things about hardcore is that when you die in this game, you lose skills, and it's hard to say like how far you've really progressed. It's really hard to say if that's a good or bad thing. I can imagine a lot of people, especially when you're just getting your own or trying out new things, and you're dying a lot and losing skill. It could be tough. But I don't mind it. It's actually a good thing that death is a little punishing. It's not just like basic stuff, or it's not just like go collect your items, go death run, whatever. Let me get a little cooking done, and I think we're heading out. So I'm gonna kind of be learning a lot throughout the series. I imagine the first few episodes would be a little awkward. That's whatever, honestly. We're all a little cringe, honestly. And I'll kind of find my balance with how long I should make videos or how far I should progress. I'm gonna try to keep this, as honest as I can. It's definitely hard to say what I should or shouldn't do. Where are the necktails I just got? I cooked them. Eh? Okay, they were there for some reason. Weird. Let me kind of organize my inventory a little bit as that little last guy's finishing. Get this tree out of here. Okay, nice. All right. So I'll probably keep this guy as a little fireplace for now. I'm good on rested. Let me just kind of check through everything. I think we're pretty good. Yeah, let me just up real quick. I'll probably switch out the raspberry, but we'll figure that out later. But yeah, it's definitely hard for me to find a balance between, how much of the game I should kind of explore and how much of the commentary I should explore. I think it's a balance you find. Ooh, hello, Mushroom City. I'm ready. It's also just so nice to collect things in this game. Like, I know it feats that little uh, dopaminergic. That's a pretty hard word for me to say, but it feeds on that system of looking for a goal, farming it out, and actually reaching that goal. That's one of the great things that video games um, activates in your brain, which could actually be a danger in its own right. And um, when we extrapolate on that, actually, um, I've actually seen a lot of anti-game um, uh, or anti-game sentiment in the past through, or recently, I should say, with my friends and just a lot of people in general. Um, there's this idea that games are just a time waster. Like we should be um, really trying to perfect ourselves instead of these arbitrary characters in video games. And I feel like that's a fair assessment that we are wasting our time. Like is my time really well being spent, or being spent well, I should say, um, playing this? Um, I suppose I've added the extra element of that I'm recording, and there's always potential there, but it goes back to this goal oriented thing. Um, we should always be trying to achieve something, or I didn't even know that. Oh, hello, I might get him. Okay, I didn't get him. Let's see if I get this guy. I'm chasing him. I'm over it. That broke. Easy. But we're always fixated on what this could benefit us instead of just living in the moment, enjoying it, enjoying the process. Bringing my knife up a little bit. So it's a tough argument to dissect, truthfully, and especially with all the shit going on in the world. Is there really time with video games and to really waste our lives? Um, it's hard to say, truthfully, and I'm not sure if I have a real answer to that. I've grown up with video games. I've played RuneScape since like fourth grade. Got into Club Penguin, begged my parents for membership. The good old classics. Um, just to give you a timeline of where my experiences come from, and gaming has always just been a part of like who I am. I always wanted to hide from it. I guess I was always ashamed, especially back in the let's say with the 2010s. Gaming wasn't really mainstream, and people would like clown on you for like playing WoW, or you know, um, uh, or like people would kind of look disparagingly upon you for even playing video games for a long period of time. Um, and this is actually the interesting thing about the introduction of Fortnite. I think Fortnite was the game that really brought gaming into the acceptable category, where it became so popular and so widespread that the new generations, the Gen Zs and the generations to come, um, will have video games in their life, and it'll be normalized. Um, and it's interesting. Um, I it's a difficult topic to really see what's best for society. I think we can all agree on that. Productively wise, um, video gaming is not very productive to society. I mean, you can make arguments about esports and what are the creative endeavors that you can do with video games, but how much are we really achieving? It's an interesting question to answer. I'm gonna probably head back to that my little base, take a little nap, kind of move it from night. Um, and that's why I honestly just have to remind myself to slow down in this game. I'm always really worried about either entertaining all of you, or um, really just making progression, like looking cool or looking progressed or whatever. shouldn't be my focus. I should just be enjoying the experience while I have it. And, you know, we'll see where this goes. This is just a passion project of mine. I'll kind of keep moving forward with it, but we'll see where this goes. I think this will end our little first introduction to everything. I could use a mental break myself, because it is very difficult to maintain a stream of consciousness, and hopefully it becomes enjoyable. Let me get a little torch down, get a little light going. I don't think I'm going to put a chest down because I don't think it's too necessary. I don't know if I'm going to really come back to this. But I actually might make a chest just to dump items that we don't need. One of the tough parts about this game early is that you don't really have a way to destroy items. So you kind of just got to throw them in. Like this stone axe, I have a flint axe. So I'm never going to use that. I think everything, I honestly think that's about it. Maybe I'll throw away my craft torch. Talk to my man. And I think that will pretty much do us for right now. What does this end up being? 26 minutes? I feel like that's a fair little chunk to kind of end the series on. Or, not the series. hopefully I can make it past one episode, you know? But, I feel like this would be a good first pilot. And I thank you for, you know, at least being part of that experience. Let me grab a door down. And I think we're all set. So, I'll probably have the next video out sometime soon. I'm going to probably record one very soon after this one. And kind of see where this goes. I thank you for watching. I'll see if I can come up with more ideas and honestly just improve my craft. I was decently okay at editing when I began, but I'm definitely rusty. Been a while since I've really put in the time into video production, but that is a road we'll cross when we get there. I appreciate you all for joining me, and I wish you the best. Good night.